Hello, everyone. Welcome to another segment of the Court Journal. It's your boy Sniper J, and I'm feeling good today. But I gotta get the quote of the day in, and guess what? Pressure is a privilege. It only comes to those who earn it. It only comes to those who earn it. Billie Jean King said that. Y'all need to take that with y'all. All right, let's get it. Welcome back, man. It's been a long time coming. I didn't had I didn't had media fights with this coach before he was a coach, of course. We didn't had our agreements, we didn't had our disagreements, and now he is a court general, and he's the new head coach of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, Coach Skinny Washington. How are you doing?
I'm good. What up? What up? Hey, we still got low key a little bit of beef. As
I,
SimWorld today,
right?
you mentioned every team in the ACC except for Wake.
Well, okay. Well,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, the record said 6-23, and if we want to have beef, we can have beef. But I'm just a senior scout now. It's not my role to be beefing with you anymore. But if you want to beef, I would love to beef. I just want you to beef into like 20 plus wins.
I got you. I
Yeah,
got you, Snipe.
yeah, that's all I'm asking for. But all right, let me take a couple steps back. See, you done got me rolling already. I'm excited that you're here, and I've then effed up my notes already, and I need to go back and get my notes right. Okay, so first off, huge congratulations. What does it mean to you to be the head coach of Wake Forest? A program, I may add, a lot of people don't know this about Wake Forest, but they are a legendary program. Like they done had very good players come out this program. So what does it mean to you to be the head coach of Wake Forest?
Yeah, just like you said, they done had a lot of talent come out of this program and Hall of Famers, just craziness. So it means a lot because um, they was actually, you know, they reached out to me on the quickness when they realized that they was gonna let go of their coach, and they was the first one to reach out. So it means even more because of that. Um, and I had my stint in Queen City, so I love the Carolinas. So it's all for full circle for me.
I love that. Stand in the area. You said they reached out to you very quickly. That must mean they knew about you beforehand. They really love what you did, and they knew that you were the guy for the job. And I'm happy you got the job. I think you deserve it. But coach, I gotta ask you, what was your first reaction when you got the call?
I thought it was Cap. What the kids say, Cap. Yeah, it's Cap. I was like, so I say what the kids say, and then I'm gonna show how old I am because I was looking for Ashton. I was like, yo, am I being punked?
Ah.
Cause yeah, yeah, yo, am I being punked? Because
Uh,
nah, hey man. So yeah, that was
that's
the
funny.
initial reaction. I hung up. I hung
Oh,
up.
you hung up on the athletic
Yeah,
director of Wake Forest. Oh my God,
yeah, I hung up.
Coach Skinny, Jesus Christ. You could at least like heard him out all the way to the end and then laughed about it. But you just like, I ain't got time for this. This is like this is one of those spam calls that I'm not here for.
Yeah, it's spam. This a bill collector. You gotta get off here.
You bet- These people called you and said Wake Forest. You said I ain't even go to Wake Forest. I ain't got no bills with Wake Forest and hung up. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, coach. Wa- Walk us, walk me. Actually, I'm walk me through your coaching journey because me being the new senior scout, I am not fully. knowledgeable of your coaching journey. And then once you walk me through it, give me that one moment. I mean that one moment. Like if you had to nail it down to one moment that shaped your path to this head coaching job at Wake Forest.
I think, well, let's start with the journey. So, um, I dibbled and dabbled in elementary school a little bit of middle school, and I actually, um, I filled in because the coach. This around COVID time. The coach had got sick,
Mhm.
and nobody could fill in, so I filled in, and I fell in love with it, man. Like I had no idea. Um, how much fun it is to coach and teach kids. Like, so I did so well with the kids. The kids love me more than they love him. And when he got better, he didn't come back. He just let me have it, and I've been rocking ever since. And then out of nowhere, Heartland Zombies call,
Okay.
and I'm like, what is this? So I didn't hang up on them because it was just so outrageous that I
Mhm.
wanted to hear this one out.
Right.
So I was like, I was like, man, what is a what is this? And you know, I had more and more conversations with him. I ended up taking the gig, and you know, first day in at the job, man, walk in, the gym smell like cigarettes and gym socks, and 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 bond number nine, like all mixed. I'm like, what
Mhm.
is this? Like, there was a haze in there. There was mold. There was, it was just crazy. But at the end of the day, like it was a step up. It was a level up for me. So I took it, and you know, that became my baby. So it was my cigarette smell and gym.
Mhm.
Like I love that place. And like the first game, it I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I got like this aura around me. Like it just attracts craziness. It attracts cameras. It attracts media. It does all that. And so my first game at Heartland, uh, the fans were just so out of control, just because of my aura, I guess. And one of the fans actually bit a player, and
Oh wow.
that, yeah, and that was the defining moment of Coach Skinny.
Mhm.
Um, because of the type of frenzy that I cause. I don't know why how that happens, but it happens. So
Okay.
and then I moved to Queen City because you know I was tired of my wife and kids was tired of me smelling like cigarettes and I don't smoke. So I I moved to Queen City. Is a bigger market, and it was amazing. It was the facility was outrageous, like outrageous in a good way.
Mhm.
And I brought some Heartland players with me. Um, and you know, overall, my record isn't the greatest. Like when we look at the other coaches that's been called up, they got like a record for it. But
Mhm.
like I said in the interview before, what I bring is exposure. I bring the media with me.
Right.
I bring like I build programs in that sense. So uh, now you know we got the Wake Forest, and Wake Forest needs a facelift, and I think that's why I was number one on their list.
So let me get this straight. Your coaching career, you've been numerous places. We know you can coach. You might not have won like you wanted to, but it sounds like you're saying you are what the kids would say these days, aura. You have that aura with you that attracts the spotlight, that attracts the best of the best, that attracts the national media, that attracts ESPN, CBS, all the broadcasts. That's what you're saying right now. And Coach Kenny, I'll be honest with you. You're 100% right. And I haven't known you that long, and I love you to death. Even though we have our beefs, I think you're right. You do have a certain aura. I think Wake Forest is a good place for you because Wake Forest has always been under the radar, and you have the chance to put them at the forefront. It's almost like one of those reality shows, and that person that you see on the screen, but you don't know who they are, and they don't talk much, and then they come out their shell. I think that's what you're going to be for Wake Forest as their new head coach. But let's get into a little bit of coach philosophy. You don't have to answer these if you don't want to. I'm not trying to dig in. I'm not trying to have nobody use this as no scouting tool. But are you bringing a new style of play to Wake Forest?
Yeah, it's a completely different style of play from
Okay.
last season.
Okay.
Um, it's honestly is I've said this before in interviews. I'm actually, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm a branch off the Pat Kelsey tree. So I'm bringing a
Mm.
lot of what he has done
Mhm.
because I was in his office, I was in the meetings. You know, he got tired of me because I was picking his brain 24/7.
How it should
Um,
be.
yeah, so a lot. It's a lot of Pat Kelsey with obviously the skinny twist on it. So
Love that. I absolutely love that. The fact that you have a role model and the fact that you're going to implement it and add your own twist and flavor, that's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to be excited to watch that. Now, talk to me. When you first walk in that gym, and I know you already walked in the gym, I didn't heard, I didn't heard the stories. But when it comes down to it, when you start getting things right for the season, where does your game plan begin? Is it offense or is it defense?
it's fundamentals for me.
It's the
Um,
fundamentals. Got it.
yeah,
No offense, no
uh,
defense. We need to learn how to
no
pass,
offense.
dribble, and shoot with good form. Is what I'm hearing.
Even shooting comes fourth. So we
Okay.
need to learn how to pass, dribble, and not turn the ball over.
Okay.
So
Okay.
protect the ball,
I like that.
and then actually shooting even comes number five. Now don't get it twisted. I got some shooters over here, but our game we need to get the easy buckets, and just like we was talking about my journey, I've always been my team's always been top every time in transition. So we got to get the easy buckets in transition.
Okay. Okay. I love what I'm hearing. I think this is going to definitely be a new brand of basketball for Wake Forest. Some that the Demon Deacon fans and loyal can get behind. It sounds like it's going to be fast paced, exciting, and I love that, Coach Washington. I do. Okay. Speaking of the program, let's talk vision for the program. What's the culture you want to establish in year one as the head coach?
Oh, the skinny effect, and,
Okay.
and the skinny effect is the lights are always bright.
Mhm.
You got to show up at all times. So the culture is not of being afraid of the lights.
Mhm.
If if you got the shot, take the shot. I don't care. It's one of those cultures where it's high confidence. It's not arrogance, but high confidence in everything we do. There's no second guessing anything you do. You make a decision, you live with it on the court, and we move on.
The skinny effect. You know what? I like that. And you know what? I'm I want to take it a step forward. I I know the skin effect is on the basketball court, the bright so light, and you need to show up every day. And that means you need to show up every day to the weight room. You need to show up every day to practice. You need to show up every day to extra shooting. You need to show up every day to the training room. You need to show up every day to film. That's all basketball related. But I'm gonna take the skinny effect a little further, and I know what you mean, so I'm going to explain to all the core journal fans since you're here. The skinny effect is in life, right? So for these young men, the skinny effect goes past the basketball court. The brights are light in the classroom. The brights are light in community service. The brights are just as bright when you step foot in the mall with your teammates having a casual day going shopping. You are a reflection of your institution, your name, and your coach. So the skin effect is always on in life. Is that correct, Coach Washington?
That's 100% correct.
Mm. And that's why I like Coach Skinny right there. He always agrees with me sometimes. He always agrees with me sometimes. Okay, back to vision for the program. I really just want to lay out that the skinny effect for everybody to know and understand because I think that's what you need. I think that's what your team needs to hear because they're probably tired of hearing it from you. They need to hear it from Sniper J. Maybe not Sniper J, but Sniper J is the one that told them. What are your short-term goals for this team, Coach Washington?
Short term, short term is just uh, it would have to be just gelling right now. We gotta build a team before we actually get on the court. That's why I do a lot of team building exercises.
Mhm.
So short term is we don't have to like each other,
Mhm.
but we have to fight for each other. If that makes sense. So
Makes
we are
perfect
a team like some family. All family don't get along,
sense. Amen to
but
that.
when it's wartime, that family is thick as thieves. Like you know what I'm saying. You can't break a family. We won't break this family. So short term is we gotta respect each other to the point where we willing to die for each other on the court.
Mm. I couldn't have said that better myself. I'm gonna leave that right there where it's at. That is the short-term goal, and you did really, really short-term goal. So, what is your long-term goal for this Wake Forest program, Coach Washington?
The long term is to be a revolving door of of a powerhouse. Like
Okay.
um, one day, one day I will leave Wake Forest, but long term is it should be so strong that this skinny effect will continue to go on for many years.
You know what I love about your answers right now is that they're not institution-based, they're not player-based, they're like life-based. And when you said your short-term goal, you said we need to be at chemistry. And that's gonna stick with these young men for life. Even when they join a new team, when they go to their next, if they go to the SWBA, if they go to Europe, if they go to Asia, if they go to Latin America, or if they start a brand new office job, the first day or the first couple months of their job, they're going to know and all they're going to do is try to build the right chemistry with their new teammates, and that's a life skill. That's just not a basketball skill. That's a life skill. And then you go over and you say your long term, you want the skinny effect to live on forever in Demon Deacons basketball. Demon Deacons basketball. And I just went through on how I feel about the skinny effect, and I can't agree with you more. I think that is a beautiful long term goal because if the skinny effect works out to its full potential, you're going to win the championships. You're going to win the conference championships. You're going to get the players you need, and you're going to get the players you want, and you're going to be able to propel them to the level they want and put them in position to do whatever they want in life, whether it be professional basketball, be a tech guru, or I don't know, you could go be a mechanic, you could go be a doctor. The skinny effect covers all that, and that's what I love about how you're answering these questions. Speaking of player relationships, how important is it building personal relationships with your players?
I think it's extremely important because you know a lot of times when the coach saying things, he just coach, he just he just saying whatever, he going through the motions. I don't want to go through the motions. I treat my players like my actual kids. Like you can't be too hovering that they won't open up to you, but you still gotta be firm enough to let them know like that's not gonna fly.
Right.
That's a better way to do that. Um, so it's very important to treat them not not like a basketball. The only time I treat my team players like a basketball player is game time. Outside when we get off the court,
Hmm.
we let all that go and it's about being a human. It's
Yeah.
about being a good person.
Right.
But on the court, you know, that's the time. It's time and place. You know what I'm saying. But like I said, on off the court, you know, these. This is family. These are my kids. Like
Right. And just to sum this up, what I'm hearing is you wear two different hats as the head coach, right? When the players are on the court and it's time to die for battle, you have to be the court general. You have to be the leader. You have to lead your troops into battle and get them to the finish line. But outside of the court, you have to be that mentor, that guy who understands, who's able to lead these young men and help them in life, and not be that strict coach that's always woodpeckering at their every decision, but not not just like hammering them home on what they should be doing, but explain to them why they should be doing things a certain way and how this affects their life. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Mm, you sound like a coach I would want to play for. You really do. But too bad I'm not. I done my time in the U. I was an okay player. I was an okay player. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, let's get into the fun segment, Coach. Let's get into some fun. No, I lied. What does we have to go back to player relationships. What do you look for when you're recruiting a future Demon Deacon basketball player?
I tell you something. It's a little pet peeve of mine, right?
Hmm.
So the first thing I do before I even look at tape is, well, if I'm interested, obviously I looked at the tape.
Right.
But before I deep dive into the tape and like go full blown into, oh, what can they do for my team? The first thing I do is reach out to their closest friend
Hmm.
or their mama,
Why you do
and
that?
I want to know. I want to know something bad about them. I want to know how they act when they upset with you. I want to know, well,
Hmm.
like
Is
how much are they going for you? Like I want to
right.
know their
Is
closest people in their life, how much they hold them down.
right.
First of all,
So this like a test thing, like you. So you call him like, hey, what has the further this player had went for you to see you succeed, or what's the one thing that he did that he shouldn't have done to make sure that you was okay, type of thing.
bingo, bingo. Just like when you fill out a job application, they want
Hmm.
them references.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I go get them references.
You actually okay? First person in history to look at the references and call them.
Yeah, and actually go.
Man.
You know how I used to go. You know what I'm saying? I have three different phone numbers. Hey, I'm putting all of them, and I'm disguising my holding my nose on one, holding my breath on the other one.
Trying to
Hey,
tell you.
listen.
I'm trying
Hey,
to tell you. That's hilarious. Okay, so you want to know what kind of human being they are before they are
outside of
even
the court.
basketball. Yes, before
Yeah,
basketball
yeah,
even comes into the picture. You want to know who they
yeah,
are and what they stand on. Love that.
yeah.
Okay. Now let's get back to the fun segment. Okay, you too serious for me. You know what I'm saying? You be sometimes you be goofy and sometimes you acting real serious on the court. I don't know what this is about, but I like it. I enjoy the serious side of Skinny. What what's one game from your coaching career that you'll never forget, Coach Washington?
Hey, there's one.
It has to be the biting one, right? When the kid got bit. I mean, come on now.
So it is from that team.
Oh,
Well,
this is crazy.
it's
Come on,
not the biting
come,
one.
come on. Let me know. Let me know what it is. What it
And shout out to the young man.
is.
I wish nothing but the best for him. Um, we had, and I blame Rick Blaze.
What
Rick Blaze, this,
what did Rick
this
do?
was his fault. This was his fault. We had a player named Brian Webb, a really talented player. Um, he's one of those players that's never seen a shot, never seen a bad shot in his life.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
um, he was cooking this game. Let's keep it funky. He was cooking this game. Rick Blaze on the call, and Rick Blaze, I knew it was about to go downhill because he could hear Rick Blaze
He can hear Rick
over
Blaze.
there. Yeah, at the broadcasting table. He can
Oh
hear
my
it.
God.
And Rick Blaze is over there screaming because his number is 21.
Uh-huh.
Rick Blaze was over there screaming, 21 Savage. He's 21 Savage. And I'm like, I'm looking at Brian. I'm like, please don't take the bait.
Don't.
Just keep, stay focused. Please do not take the bait. And anyway, we started squandering the lead. Team, I forgot who was playing. They came back. They closed the gap on us real quick. Fast forward, we get the ball.
Hmm.
We up maybe 1 or 2 points. All Brian Webb has to do, and Rick Blaze is still screaming 21 Savage. All Brian Webb has to do is dribble the ball out.
Uh-huh.
Instead, he takes a step back, fadeaway three,
Oh my God. He did not.
pretty much on the logo, and they get the ball back and win the game.
A 30 footer when he could have just dribbled it out. Yep, we got it.
Fadeaway,
We have to blame Rick Blaze for that. That's
it's
100%.
all Rick's fault, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I would never forget Rick Blaze ruining a win for me either. Okay, coach. If you could coach any player in history, who would it be?
I could coach any player in history.
Anybody.
Uh, James White.
Why James White?
I just he. So when I was growing up, I was a dunker. That's
Mhm.
pretty much all I did. That's all I could do, really. Everybody knew let skinny shoot. Everybody knew it.
Mhm.
Um, but even when you sagged off me, I can get to the paint. I can get to the rim with ease, and I'm dunking. I'm catching a body. Everybody knows it, but I started falling in love with dunking. At the time, watching James White, I couldn't dunk. I was grabbing rim, but I started falling in love with just how like athletic this dude is. Like
Mhm.
it's ridiculous how athletic he was. Uh, and he's pretty much like uh what's the dude, the white boy, McClung. He's
Matt
pretty much
McClung.
him.
Yeah. Matt McClung.
But actually, McClung actually got game. I don't know why they treating him like that. But James White was all bounce, and so I would just love to coach him and just see it in action because I fell in love with the dunking because
Yeah.
of him.
100%. I get that. My favorite player was Kobe, and if I was a coach or if I had to coach anyone, it would probably be Kobe B. Bryant, just on his mentality and how he approached the game. We have, I play, and me and Kobe have similar moves because I stole everything I know from him and Michael Jordan. Obviously, not the biggest Bron fan. Bron will be the GOAT at some point, but it is what it is. Let me just stop talking about that because that's a whole different conversation. Coach Skinny Washington, if you could describe Wake Forest basketball in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words.
3 words.
Hmm. Right now, like
No, no, I'm talking about just 3 words for Wake Forest basketball. It doesn't have to be right now. It could be when you already won 4 national championships. You're already Hall of Fame material. Describe Wake Forest basketball.
the most, let's say, most unappreciated legend.
Most
Unappreciated
underappreciated
legends.
legends. I'm gonna say this one more time for the whole world to hear this. Most underappreciated legends. Coach Skinny, it was a pleasure. I love having you on the court journal. You are a court journal yourself. This was a lot of fun. Do you have any last words you want to say before we get up out of here?
Hey, in the words of Coach Prime, we coming. I ain't hard to find.
And you heard it here first. The Demon Deacons are not hard to find. Hashtag see the game, be the game. Peace.